Right, this is a video I'm doing a voiceover on because I forgot to fix the microphone on. So that's a bit of a shame really, but here we go. So sorry about this. But anyway, basically what you can see on the bench now is the three parts that I've cleaned up and also put together from the previous video when you saw me. And I'm explaining bits and pieces about what's going on. And I'll be fitting the side panels from underneath and coming through. And it's showing you all the bits and pieces on the actual instructions. But here we go. And you're going to find that it's quite amusing where I pick up the wrong bits and a few times and try to fit them in. It's pretty obvious that they won't fit the way they were. But the first thing I'm going to be doing is the instruments, which the good thing is once it's in place I can actually do the decals from the underneath and slide him into position, and that should be easier to do. And we're doing quite well now. Now I actually got me Revel contactor glue out now and took the lid off, and guess what, it wouldn't come out, and I didn't bother to actually melt the end of the tube to actually do it. I thought I'll go back and use the Tammy one, which you're going to see me just about going for now. And so I've just gone to screw the red loose, so I'm ready to go. And so what we're doing now is running the glue around, as you can see, all the way around to make sure that I get as many contact points. And this has got to be really securely put underneath there, so hopefully that'll be okay. And so here we go. So we're going to slot it into place. And you can see I've gone back. I thought I'd better do the front bit as well because that makes contact with it as well. And so this is really awkward, funny, but I've got to try and remember what I did, but I can see it in front of me, so it might be my verbal comes in a bit later. But now I'm going at a camera shot trying to push it into place, and I'm trying not to get my head in as well. That's what I was doing, but I found out a way of doing it most of the time without my head coming in. So I've looked up the camera and I can see I should be in the middle. The middle isn't right in the middle across, you can see. So now I'm going to put some extra glue in there to make sure it's really securely attached. And then I'm going to be just touching it round and round, and I'll come back in a couple of seconds if I see anything that I need to say. Once I get this piece in place, you'll see I still pick it up the wrong way, and just checking to make sure that's okay, and still making sure it's okay. When I pick up one of the pieces of it, you'll see that I pick it up. I think that comes in the next segment actually, I think, but so we'll soon find out. But it's only 3 segments this. The video's only 10 minutes and 23 seconds long, so not a long one, but I did record it on Sunday, but without the sound on, so as you know now, because I'm making this voiceover. And I thought myself, well, shall I do it again and just give it a go? And I did do this voiceover once, but I had my speakers buzzing in the background and I forgot to turn something off and mute the 2 previous soundtracks that are there, which is basically with nothing on it, because obviously it records nothing if you don't turn the microphone on. So what I could have done is deleted those, but I didn't have to because I'm actually muted them for this recording. Right, we're into the second bit now. And now we're going to be fitting one of the side panels, and as you can see I'm going the wrong way around anyway. I might notice it in a minute, and then I think, oh no, it's the wrong one, and then I go to that one and that is the correct one. So, but I shall muddle it up again in a couple of minutes when I go to put the glue on it. You can see what happens. It's quite amusing when you think about it. This is quite a nice little build. I quite like it on the bench. It just sits right in the middle of my bench, and I've got miles of room either side. Not like with the M10s up there, which I'm still going to be going back to weathering this week to finish it off if I can. Well, I will do actually finish it this week. So, and then basically I shall start my next build. Which I'll explain later. I'm going to make sure Greg's ready to mention it as well. If not, I'll hang fire and carry on with my another build that I can actually have in the background, and that can revert to the Sunday build afterwards. So because I think I said the landing craft that my grandfather was on, I think that's what they're doing. See, I've got this round the wrong way again. Did you notice that? I've got the right one now, I think. Yeah, and so me father-in-law, should say, not grandfather, my father-in-law was on it on D-Day. Well, I won't be doing the exact one because he couldn't remember the number on the side. Obviously, he wouldn't have done really, but I suppose he was paying much attention to that. But anyway, so that's going into place now on there, you can see, and I'm making sure it's fully attached. And I know Andy's hobby store, hobby headquarters, I should say, has built one of these. When it first came out, and he had trouble with fitting the top to the bottom and getting it to fit properly, and had to keep tweaking it. And and I think that I know, well, I know now that I will have the same problem. I haven't glued the parts together, so when it gets to the end of this video, there'll still be two top and a bottom, because I want to do some painting on the lower part before I put it together. Otherwise it'd be a pain to get to some of the bits and pieces, and the decals as well for the top half. So just pressing it to make sure, putting a bit of glue, and I'll run a bit of glue across that top seam of the door frame in a minute, just to let say the top bit fits nice and snug. Going around the bottom seam there, I ended up prizing some of that open a little bit because I thought it might have been something to do with the problem I was attaching, but I don't think it was. But I still did it anyway. But I do run a bit of glue over the top to get it down above the door frame, as you're going to see me doing in a minute when I turn it round. And then basically what I do is, I originally said in this video, well, I'm going to switch off the video while I fit the other one, the other side, which you can see laying on the instructions. So, and I think I'm going to put the glue along that top seam in a second anyway. So I've finished fettling with it to make sure it's all snug in place, because it has to be lined up quite well there, and it's done. So we're doing quite well, and here I go, and there's the bit I'm going to do. So in a few seconds we're going to go into the last segment, and so I shall come back in a second when it's done, or when I'm done I should say. Right, we're in the next segment now. As you see, that switched in, and as you can see, I was test fitting the car there and the roof on top, and you can see there that I was squashing it down. It's not too bad, but it can go a bit better, and later on I do get it a little bit better. And what I'm explaining now is that the top of my fingers on the left hand side, on top of the flat bit above the steering, the control panel bit, there's a lot of details that you have to put it onto there. It tells you to do instructions. If you look on the instructions up the top, on the top bit, number 8, I think it is, and there it tells you to put them all on. If I'd have done that, you would have had a lot of trouble trying to press these together. So I'm going to be putting them on after I've got them attached together, and all the inside, top and bottom is painted as well. And then I can just go around and paint with a nice thing. So, and what a bit I'm pointing out now is that's the two areas that come to Frogsman. The first bit is the half moon bit in the front, just there on the front end, before in front of the gear stick near the front end of the car or the vehicle, and that bit I started to shave a little bit so I could get it over a bit easier. And you can't see it anyway. Once you've pushed it in, you can't see it, so it's not an issue really. So that's okay. And you can see I'm doing a bit of sanding there to see if I can sort of smooth it round to get a nice bite on it. But as you can see, I haven't put the propeller on the back on yet. That'd be one of the last things that go on once I've got ready to paint it and done all the filling. There is two gaps really on the back end, and it's where the wheels go. And I'm glad I never actually put the wheels on in position like it shows you in the instructions, because you would never have got to fill that area once you've got the two top halves and the bottom halves done, and that would have been a big issue then. So to get round there, even though perhaps the wheel would actually block what you would see, but I still like to actually manage to fill it in anyway. So that's okay. And you can see I'm sanding there with the old sanding stick along the seam where the join is. Not actually touching the actual the frame. I'm just touching the inner part of the door wells area. So that's what I'm doing. Now keep test fitting every now and then. So that's what it's all about. And I'm explaining now about putting the bits on the top, and if I'd have had trouble, see along there where my finger is, that's where the problem is. If you put all that stuff on, coming to put these two bits together, because you only join it afterwards, and you can do all that top bit when it's on top permanently, which will be a lot better. And the back plate behind where the back seat is, that will also go into place once you've done everything, and I can actually glue that into position as well, so it's right tight to where it should be. It's actually, it keeps coming apart slightly, but it won't do once you've got it all in place. So that was quite nice anyway. So that's what it is. I'm going to do a bit of fettling, I think, most probably, to get it a bit lower, but I did get it down and clamped with my hands, and it did close up. So might have to close one side, then go to the other side, and then do the filling. So that's what I'm talking about now. So there you go. So that's what we're going to be doing. And so if you're going to just to prove that what my point is, if you feel that, then that, and you've got all that to do, and then there's not much else of it to be built once we get past this point. So we're on 10 and 11 just there, and there you go. And I've got to do the night driving light in the front and the two other lights. There you go. So thank you very much for watching this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe everyone, and happy modelling.